Active Cohort Evaluation. Master in Public Administration in International Development, Harvard Kennedy School. Can't believe what I'm seeing. This is, by far, the most dangerous group I've ever had to spy on. These people spent several months writing essays about how to achieve development in their countries, and there they are, waiting for their turn to get drunk and celebrate. My mission is clear. Try to understand who are going to be the next leaders in many disciplines around the world. Even though I've found an answer to many questions, there are still some inquiries without any clear explanation.
So what is the MPID? That's a question I ask myself all the time. What am I doing here? That's an existential question. That's deep. I mean, I don't know.
And maybe what I would tell my parents, it's a program focused more on economics, and if you want to be a policymaker, it would be great to take.
So if someone were to come in for the first time, in the first semester, they're going to be taking 5 different classes. And the first class is statistics. The second class, applications and cases, DEF 401, applying the macro and micro theories in practice. So we actually go through cases like Zimbabwe, hyperinflation, Argentina, to education in India. And then we obviously take the third class, macroeconomics. And then the fourth class is Dev 101, which is development economics. And it's all about the macro-micro puzzle. So at a very high level, very theoretical, and the classes help you give a more practical lens on development issues. And then the fifth, microeconomic theory, where you'll learn about envelope theorem, ideally.
Of course I know what is the envelope theorem, but I'm not gonna say it here. It's a secret.
It requires a painful set of at least 10 microeconomics classes, and if you don't take them, I cannot tell you what is the envelope theorem.
Well, I mean, everybody who has taken Micro 101 knows what the envelope theorem is. It's the idea that if you have an envelope and then you put things inside the envelope, no matter how many things you put, the envelope never grows in size. It's like an infinite, have you seen Harry Potter with Hermione just puts some random stuff?
Really? No, I can't.
The envelope theorem is that if you want your letter to your grandma to be delivered in time, you need to put it in an envelope, and this theorem goes with the stamp theorem. So you need to put a stamp on it, and so that it is properly delivered to your grandma.
Don't ask me that.
MPID program is a place where you will meet people that you would never meet anywhere else, doing anything else in the world. Like, I can't imagine a job or an educational experience where we would have the types of people we have all in one room and getting along the way we do, despite having so little in common. I mean, the fact that if you get any two people together across lunch, they will be able to have a proper conversation is amazing, right? So I feel like that for me is incredible. And I remember on the first day I was like so amazed by, I never thought I'd be talking to people from Chile and Peru, and I didn't know how to pronounce Chile before this, I thought it was Chile.
It's delightful. Like MPID, the diversity is like eating a mixed rice bowl, right? Like You can feel the spiciness. You can feel, it's salty and maybe like a little bit of sweet there, excitement, and just when you finish it, when you finish the whole semester, you just keep craving for more.
We see people making friends with people from very different backgrounds and things like that. So I think that's what makes this stand out and makes it very special for me too.
People from different backgrounds, and also people who want to go to different places. So I think we should separate that. Yes, from the backgrounds, we do have the world bankers, we have the consultants, we have the government policy makers. We also have the, what is a prominent other group that we have? And then smaller, I guess I would say, smaller firms that don't really mesh up to, they don't really, are not really allocated to one group. And I think it's interesting because you can really see a difference in personality in all of those groups. I think consultants are very easily identifiable, A, by clothes and B, by slides.
Here, Agent ISLM. Our previous spy is not answering. His last report was 2 months ago, and then he was seen with some MPIDs doing hiking. These people seem to be really happy, but they are hiding something. They spend way too much time doing problem sets, but still they have time to hang out. Do they fight? Do they agree on everything? I really need to understand who they are.
Because maybe after conducting graffiti, the probability is the same.
Yeah, 33. Okay. Since math camp, I think that I have been able to discover a lot of other of my classmates and what they're bringing to the program. First, in the math camp, it was just like everything was new. I was just like hanging around with everyone, but not really getting to know any of you deeply. Now I'm getting to do that, and it's very important for me. And then also, it's colder, so that's another difference from math camp, which was in August. Now we're in November. We're like 0 degrees Celsius. That's another important difference.
The topics of the conversations are way more than who are you, what are you going to do after the program, and they are more bonding stuff, more meaningful stuff. And I think that people have started to know each other better, to have some similarities or differences in thinking, and I think that's something that it's making us grow a lot, not only professionally but also personally.
I think from math camp to now, people have become more real. I think everyone was super nice at math camp, and I think people are still nice. But I think that with time and with stress, you just show your real colors, which is both good and bad. But I think now you kind of have a better sense of who everyone is.
In the beginning, when people didn't know me in math camp, I think they were more friendly. But slowly, as my personality became to be exposed and people started to know about me, I think some frictions arose, and some friendships, but some frictions. They're there.
Wait, who is this guy? I like what he says. There must be some friction between them. I want to know more. So I decided to explore this question, and I interviewed 3 students that live together.
My name is Laura. I'm from Colombia, and I'm an PID student. And I live with Alejandro and Carlos in 78 Beacon Street.
That's too much information.
So we don't cook together. Actually, Alejandro made the statement that a good marriage should be with separate accounts.
And it's working so far.
So do you want to explain a little bit
it's
more
working
about
so far.
that?
It's a successful marriage.
Successful marriage? They're lying. Carlos is touching his nose. They always fight, and I will prove it.
So about the Colombia party, we knew sooner or later it was going to happen. We decided it was going to be a Colombian Chilean party. I don't know what the Chilean part was besides
the people, the great people that we
Carlos
had.
didn't help anything. I mean, we did everything. They called the restaurant.
I got the record of who was paying, which was really important.
Yes, no.
I kept the budget of the party.
We were supposed to charge a $13
Oh, you never said that to me.
A $13.
No, I was never part of that conversation.
No, I was in the same table.
No, but that. this is for real.
No.
I never heard that it was 13. The price of the party. We were discussing 12, and then you both discussed 13 because for the asado they said that 12 was not enough. We were short of money.
Multiply $1 per 90, and you have a whole big hole.
Yeah.
So the party was a deficit party
for the house.
And that is how developing countries have fiscal deficit problems. They do not communicate. They cannot even manage a simple party in a house. And you want them to help fix their countries? This is my first finding, but not the only one. I collected information on what they eat and how they eat, and also how they organize themselves to study and submit problem sets on time, and what they do to know more about each other.
The newsletter tells us a little bit about what's coming up in the week, be about the schoolwork as well as birthdays. Then we talk a lot about random stuff on our WhatsApp, and we try to do a little bit of a collection of what's going on. So if Guy mainly comes with us with a lot of podcasts going on, we just grab one and put it up there. And I also put kids as memes, since we tend to spend more time thinking about memes than anything else when we are actually in class.
Kids as memes are epic. I mean, they are gonna be like in culture for eternity. Someday in I don't know, in 3001, somebody's gonna see and okay, now I understand how was culture back then. And thanks to Kids.
I think that they are going to be like a book of images that we are going to see some years from now, and they're going to be excellent representation of each moment. So I'm learning a lot of that, and I really laugh when I'm on Instagram and I see a meme that represents exactly what I'm thinking in that moment, and I think they're going to be amazing in some years from now.
So here in HKS, we have this WhatsApp group that is for free food. So whenever someone sees free food anywhere, they would put it into that group so that everyone else will act like vultures and just attack that free food. So that's basically how it works. Because we live in a society where everything is competition, right? Coming to HKS is a competition. So coming for food is also competition. You put it in a group, everyone needs to rush and like race to get there to get free food.
Every time I see a free food message, I'm invariably always hungry. So that message brings me extreme joy. However, from past experience, I've realized just because there's free food message does not mean there will be free food by the time I reach there. So the importance is to respond on time. If you see a message for free food, run. Run right then, drop everything. Invariably, we're in the student lounge. Leave your fucking bag there. Run. Get the free food. I have lost free ice cream in the past. It hurt. It hurt a lot. So please run, guys.
Pecha Kuchas are 5. So in terms of just the form of it, it's 10 slides. You have 30 seconds per slide to cover any topic under the sun. And so many different people choose different topics to share with our classmates. So I chose ships. Enzo chose Morgas or Uruguayan Morgas and how you participated in them in Buenos Aires. Andres talked about like the PhD supervisor of 2 great thinkers of India and China. So it can be anything under the sun. And we all like it.
Unfiltered is a thing that MPIDs do where one person comes to explain everything about their life in 1 hour, and they try to include personal things, including deep down traumas, and they try to include professional things, and they try to include like what has happened in like, you know, how they feel right now about things, but somehow it works because we get to like know the person better and we get to ask them questions, and it's one way in which everyone gets to know each other.
I would say that one of the largest resources we have here are classmates, and it's one space that you have to hear about them, their fears, their dreams, their backgrounds, and ask them questions. And you find out that even though we're from different parts of the world, we are very similar.
Why are there so many Peruvians? I don't even know that. We're definitely overrepresented. We shouldn't be 10. Should it be maybe 5? Maybe I shouldn't be here.
The 2 Peruvians that should be here, like, are honestly the rest of them.
It's true that there's a lot of Indians and a lot of Peruvians in the program, but to be fair, there's a lot of Indians in the world. There's like 1.5 billion of them, and it makes sense for them to be a lot of them in the program. They're a developing country, I don't know. But Peruvians from Peru, I've never even heard of Peru before I came here. I think it might be a made-up country. It might be something that, you know, the people at Harvard just sort of invented in order to get some of their favorite people into the program, nieces, cousins, friends of daughters.
One of the most intriguing questions is, why inside a Harvard classroom, the word asado appeared in the middle of a word cloud on the screen? Why was there a Spanish word? What were they trying to say?
For me, it was positive to see that that was in the middle of the cloud, because I think that this program is basically defined by the relationships we will have with each other. So like having that rather than stress, and actually like putting that on top of other stuff that we're like having all this stimulus around and having that at the center, I think it was amazing.
I think asado just, you know, definitionally for someone who's learning Spanish would just be simple barbecue, but for this class it's a lot more than that. So I think it's the beauty of the friendships, the organic connections we make outside the classroom. I think asado means summer and joy and being outside and not being freezing.
I think asado is like a marathon, so you need to prepare. You need to be prepared for long distance events. Then you have a few ingredients. There is meats on barbecues. There is beer, and at some point the beer becomes pisco. So you need also to be prepared mentally for that. And then in some very special asados, you have Mexican music players.
Yes, I was there when the mariachis arrived.
Mariachi! Oh my God!
Mariachi! I mean, it was a little hazy because, you know, I might have had a little too much aguardiente. You know, Renzo was going around giving aguardiente to everybody. But the way I remember is that there was this flying machine that came over us, and all of a sudden these like musicians came down, you know, wearing traditional Mexican attire, and then they started playing, and at that point everybody started floating and then just mixing in the air, you know, and then all of a sudden, bam, we became one, and we became Danny Roderick for 1 second as the mariachis were playing, and once they stopped, bam, everybody separated, came down to earth. And I woke up the next morning.
Do I think we listen too much Latin American music? Yeah, I remember there was one party where we tried really hard to get some Asian representation in the playlist, but it was skipped every time we bumped it up. And also I noticed whenever we play some even like English American music, like Party in the USA, people would just stop dancing. It's like they don't know how to dance to American music or Asian music.
cook, we drink, we dance too much reggaeton. We ended up playing a little bit of Indian music in the mix to try to pretend that we're letting other cultures in, but we mostly don't.
Why do we always play reggaeton? Like, it's reggaeton day and night, you know? When we're in macro class, Frankel just like plays reggaeton in the middle of the class. When we're with Arda in microeconomics, he just starts singing Hawaii. Why does everybody love reggaeton so much? It's a big mystery.
And there's too much Latin music being played all the time. When we're studying, when we're partying, when we're sleeping. I hear it in my dreams. Bad Bunny, baby. When will it stop? I mean, we need to do something.
In parties, we don't listen enough Latin music, I think. It's just the right amount. Because like everyone moves to that rhythm. So I think it's the good amount of music.
I mean, yes, there is more Latin music in parties, but I don't complain because I love the energy that all the Latin American students bring when they sing it together, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the parties.
Okay, the music we play at the parties, I think it often descends into a purely Latin party, which I quite enjoy. But I think there has been tension in the past that there's not more of a balance. I think the Diwali party was a good balance of Indian, Bollywood, Desi music, but everyone should know that in February we're going to be having a pure American party for the Super Bowl, and there it will be American jams. And I think on the Vermont trip as well, we had a good balance of all different cultural music.
I think the parties need more diverse music. Coming from the only other non-Latin American who loves reggaeton, we need more music, guys. Also my knees are not ready for this, and I feel like we leave out a lot of people who don't have good knees. They're not able to like go down. It's just not working out.
My job here is finishing. Even though I found answers to almost every question, there's something that I still cannot explain. Why is it that if they spend the entire day studying or doing problem sets, they still want to hang out together? Why are they not tired of each other? I cannot answer that by myself. The big question here is, how does the admissions team manage to select individuals from different backgrounds and profiles, but at the same time ensure that these people can engage with each other and learn from each other? How do they even know they're going to become friends? I guess I will need more time and more help to answer these questions.
¿Quién eres tú? ¿Dónde has estado? He removido cielo y tierra y no te encontré. Y llegas hoy tan de repente y das sentido a toda mi vida con tu querer.
ना मैं समझा ना मैं जाना जो भी तुमने मुझसे कहा है सेन्योरिटा, मगर फिर भी ना जाने क्यों मुझे सुन के अच्छा लगा है señorita.
No desvíes la mirada, quédate cerca de mí.
मुझको बाहों में तुम घेरो, समझी ना señorita.
चाहत के दो पल भी मिल पाए, दुनिया में ये भी कम है क्या? दो पल को तो आओ खो जाए, पूरे हम होता हम है क्या señorita? सुनो सुनो señorita, कहते हैं हम क्या?
Jamás podré interpretar el sentido de las palabras que me dedicas, pero el calor de tu mirar me hace sentir como la más bella señorita.
निगाहों ने
निगाहों से कहीं अरमानों की दास्तां है सेन्योरिटा, ये चाहत की मोहब्बत की सारी दुनिया में एक ही जुबान है सेन्योरिटा।
मुझसे अब नजर ना फेरो, आओ पास तुम मेरे,
मुझको बाहों में तुम घेरो, समझी ना सेन्योरिटा।